All right, what is going on, boys, and welcome back to the channel. This is officially our first real Brash Garage video in the new shop. If you guys haven't seen where I've been and why I disappeared from YouTube for 2 months, there'll be a card up here, one of the corners. Go ahead, click that, catch yourself up to speed. It goes over everything, including clips from the previous 2 months and what I've been doing. But today, we have this whole garage that's semi set up, but semi not set up. So as we can see right here, we have 1, 2, 3 boxes that need to go in the tool chest and need to go in the actual workbench, which isn't even functioning as a real workbench right now. I did keep my hex lights from the old shop, so we can use those as well. But today I kind of just want the space a little more workable, more walkable, and just more usable overall. So let's get you guys off the hand rig and put onto the tripod. And I guess there's just gonna be a lot of time lapse. So let's kick it off with that. 3, 2, 1. And just as I'm starting to clean this shop, I found our first install video we are going to be doing in the new house, in the new city, and it is from our boys over at Auxito. They sent us out a pair of LED headlights for my 2014 F-150. The tow pig, the work pig, the work truck, you know what I mean? We've got this car right here, and sometimes it needs a trailer to get from point A to point B. Tuning, fabrication, racing, you know the deal. These are for the F-150, and huge shout out to Auxito for hooking up the tow rig with a fresh set of LED lights. We're not gonna get into this today, but I'm glad I found them because I need to get on this video, not only for them, but so I can actually see at night. So put these in a safe location, and this video will be coming soon. Huge shout out to Auxito. All right, guys, here's the dilemma, right? As we can see, workbench, toolbox, engine hoist. This is obviously where I'm gonna be working, where I'm gonna be cooking most of the time, you know, fresh Civic parts right here, workbench right here, car right here. Beautiful. What's not beautiful is this orange ass light. And you know what really irks me? Let's take a step back. The thing isn't even centered in between the width of that wall and that wall. It's offset. And they're gonna go ahead and put white lights and then have a yellow one here? Like, for what? Why? Anyways, I just got the backing for the rest of my workbench out of the back of the Civic. And then I've got my power bar. Also don't know how I want to mount it. It has these tabs on the back, so I'm thinking about sending a screw through one of these ports up here and hiding it on the back. Problem right now is I'm trying to do that with this. As you can see, bolt head goes in there, slides over, locks in place. The only drywall slash like home screws I can find that aren't car bolts are these big Berthas, and the heads are too big to fit in, and they're quite long. I definitely don't need it this long. I do need to get a stud finder so I can see where the studs are. Obviously there's already electrical running through here because there's a light, so gotta be careful of that. But I need this light mounted right here, so I never have to turn that on or think about it, and this can be well lit. Because let's face it, it is super dim, and I don't want to be using my tri-light right here to light up everything. Not only is it kind of weak, it's old, and now it flickers like heck. So I guess for right now, we're gonna have to proceed with that. And one other thing that irks me, this shop is quite long. As we can tell, there's a lot of stuff in it. Quite long. You'd think you'd have at least, I don't know, 3 to 6 power outlets along here, one on each wall type deal, one every certain amount of feet. No. I have one power outlet in here, and it's right there. Yeah, thankfully I use a lot of hand tools and electric power tools, so that does help quite a bit with not having outlets. So what I think I'm gonna do is I have this red electrical cable, and I might get like a quick spool cable that I can mount to the wall and just pull out. But my plan for this outlet is to obviously have my power bar plugged into it, because I have a ton of ports, USB-C and USB. This thing works really good, had it for years at the last shop. And that's gonna occupy one of those two ports. The other is always gonna be on an extension. If I need the big impact hooked up to power, I can use the extension. If I wanna take my pressure washer and pull it outside to wash a vehicle, I've got my extension. If I need an air compressor to quickly fill up a tire for either vehicle, I can run that to there and then have it if something's in the driveway. So it is enough to make do. Is it great? Hell no. Dude, I had like 37 outlets at the last shop. This is a shock, to say the least. Regardless, I've been talking for 4 minutes about how I can't mount a light, so let's close this up and let's get back to unboxing and sorting, because I just created this whole mess. It wasn't there about 20 minutes ago, so I gotta clean it now. And just like that, we have 3 boxes down, and it is looking a whole lot better right here. Minus the terrible lighting situation. I did find some more screws and hardware that might just work. Like, there's this bag strapped onto here with actual drywall plugs, but I do need to get myself a stud finder anyways. So I'm gonna get a stud finder and some proper size screws for the lights and hanging things. I also did come across my shop banners. I've got a Honda banner, HKS, Spoon, and then the GTR series from old to new. Like I said, I think I kind of want to hang it there as like faux curtains, either that or just plaster them on this wall right here. Maybe even a couple, probably just one behind the toolbox. I do want to add some more banners and stuff soon, but so far it is looking a whole lot better. Now we still have all of this crap here. Don't worry, this pile here is to shuffle into storage and inside, so just pretend like that whole thing doesn't exist. All of this is literally just recycling and garbage that we need to take out, but we have like community bins and they're full most of the time. So I've been waiting to get all this recycling out, and then it's really just what's on this white table for the shop. Like, we've got our 2 lights, I've got all my sandpapers, these napkins are all for the truck. I do have a couple more power tools here, and I actually wouldn't mind hanging these hex lights, whether we do it on the wall casting down on the car, or maybe try to go in between these lights here. This is like an inside ceiling type deal. It's kind of got that like rough texture to it, that popcorn ceiling. So I don't know how well that's gonna go. Plus the distance from right there to right there is not that long. We might be able to do like one big hex or something, but overall the car is decently lit. It's just not great. It's really dark on this side because of all this. I feel like once this light's here, it'll kind of light up this side of the car more. And then side of the car is kind of dark too. So I wonder if maybe we just put it on the wall like we did in the old place. Put that in the comments below. Hex lights, should we try and sneak them in between the two roof lights, or should we put them on the wall over there? I'll leave that one up to you guys, because the lighting back here gets decent, but once again, like, it's just not great. With a black car, it's kind of hard to see, but it is also just a garage. It definitely doesn't look as dim in person as it does on camera. But like I say, I do have two of these lights. One of them is obviously going right there. The other one, who knows? I could even put hex lights there and then put this light in between these two lights as a third light, like right there. That might be awesome too. Then we have 3 lights and the hex light. The biggest problem, again, with all of this is that if I have a bar light here, it can plug into this power bar just fine. If I mount one on the roof here, I have 2 options. I either P-clamp an extension cord all the way here that plugs into here, because I need the second outlet for that, for dragging things farther out of the shop, or I could run the cord over here where the garage door opener is plugged into and try to run something like that. Again, with the hex lights being on this wall, it would more or less be the same deal of having to drape an extension cord. Kind of, I could get like an extension cord runner right here, so it's just like a little track, but it would probably come down the wall, go underneath it, and then spit out here, lined up with this wall, come up, and then get plugged into this bar. So that when I come into the shop, if I have all this off, I would have my light bar here, hex lights there or on the roof, and then I would come over, flick this switch, and the bar light would light up, the hex light would light up. This one hanging here, if it were to be plugged into there, I would just have to pull it on. And then obviously these 2 lights are hard mounted in the garage with the light switch. So we do have to figure out a lighting setup. I really don't want to walk around with a pod light and put it at every aspect of everything that I'm trying to film. So our biggest dilemma at the moment is indeed getting good lighting in here. And then another thing is the Milwaukee pack out. Do I use it or do I sell it? I have the board here, and as useful as it is, it's really not a necessity like lighting is. Where I could put it, I could probably put it on this wall right here, so I can just roll up, grab some paper towel, things like that. But then again, that's 4 more screws in the drywall, on top of already putting some here for the light, potentially on the ceiling for the light, and then potentially on this wall for the hex lights. This, once again, is a rental, and this isn't like a shop garage like my last place was. This is like a whole house rental, so I kind of want to be a little bit more diligent, but at the same time, kind of just send it. It would really only take me a day to go around with mud up all the holes, let them dry, and then paint over it. It really wouldn't be that bad. I don't know. Put it in the comments. What is your best suggestion for the lights? Let's run one more time lapse because I got a little bit more to do, and we're getting there. Okay, so big brain, kinda small brain moment here. As we can see, we have my workbench, right? Comprendo. We have a Milwaukee charger, and then we had a Maximum charger, and then we had a Aoben charger, all for power tools that I could get from Milwaukee. Now I have an M1218 charger, so it will do both their batteries, both the 12 and the 18, and they do make bigger chargers that do both as well. But instead of having 1, 2, 3 different battery chargers here taking up over half my space, I figure I could just run one. I already have an M18 red lithium battery. I already have a couple M12 batteries, and this is like my go-to unit. If you know, you know. The Milwaukee M12 stubbies, these are fantastic. I'm actually looking at getting the Gen 2 because this is just the Gen 1. But these are fantastic. And then my Aoben, which is like a Milwaukee Snap-on ripoff, is a really weak and dying electric ratchet with 2 batteries, its own charger, and a set of cheap Chinesium sockets. And then from Maximum, I have a big charger like the Milwaukee, and these are their 12 volt batteries, but they're kind of in this square style, the same as the M18, and it requires quite a beefy charger. So with this thing next to this thing, and then the little Aoben one, it was a lot of space. And all I have here is a drill that's really not all that powerful. It's done me good. And then I have one of these more household impacts with the adjustable snap fitting on the end, not an automotive impact like that, which I've never literally ever used since I got my actual automotive grade Milwaukee 1/2-inch stubby impact. So I'm just thinking to myself, I already have the batteries, I already have the charger, I can get the bare Milwaukee drill. I'm not gonna replace this because it's right there, for quite cheap for just their pretty basic drill. I don't need a crazy brushless drill for anything. I mean, the extent of what I'm doing would be drilling in lights and stuff into drywall and studs. I don't need the crazy one. And then this is literally under-spec'd compared to every single Milwaukee electric ratchet, from the worst, cheapest one to the best brushless crazy ones. And I can also get their electric ratchet bare tool for quite cheap. So instead of running 3 chargers, having all these different carrying cases, chargers, and different brand tools, I'm just gonna go ahead, throw those 2 kits up on Marketplace and replace them with the bare Milwaukee tool, since I already have the battery. I also have the Milwaukee Sawzall and a few other of their bigger M18 power tools in there, as well as their pack out. And my pack out board does fit perfectly right there. It's basically just coming down to getting a stud finder and seeing if and how many studs there are behind that so I can mount it, because there is quite a bit of weight behind the pack out board. That's not something I'd want to plug into drywall. The lights I don't really care too much about, especially the light bars because they're super light, but find some studs behind there and I would definitely chuck the pack out there. Sell these tools, clear up my up top room, my little shelf on my workbench to get Milwaukee tool equivalents for, and we should be laughing. And we're gonna be ripping Milwaukee, have 1 charger going. Hopefully I can get the pack out and the curtains hung really soon. Just can't do that tonight. I do want to add that in this video though, so I kind of got to stop talking and just put a cap in it for tonight. All right guys, day 2 filming in the shop, trying to get this space set up. I've done a lot of talking in part 1, so I'm gonna do less talking this time, and we are gonna just get some things set up. Not gonna lie, I went to the hardware store and I bought the last bit of shelves that we need to get this place looking better and more stuff off the ground, and I forgot screws and a stud finder. I know. One other issue we found as well is I tried to run the pressure washer to wash off my cars. I've got this spigot here, a spigot I've never seen before. And if you look from underneath, it's got these little holes in it, and it's a back purge vacuum spigot. So when I let off the handle on the pressure washer, it sprays an enormous amount of water all over the drywall and everything around it. They are also held on with anti-tamper self-snapping screws. So I have to get the Dremel, cut it, unthread it, take it off, and get a one-way backflow fitting, whatever the hell, so that doesn't happen. Tried to wash the cars yesterday and that didn't go well. I soaked everything. that also needs to get fixed. Add it to the list. For now, let's get these shelves busted open and get some stuff on them. The Civic is still full of crap, and that's a big thing I want to crush out today. Alright, well, I had to cut that one a little bit short because I had some detailing chemical spill in one of the buckets that had all of my brake clean, my Bondo, my penetrant, everything. And so I was just sitting here for the last like 30 minutes, brake clean, soaking rags, and wiping everything clean. What an absolute mess. But as we can see, it's already looking much, much better up here. I've got all my detailing stuff in the middle rack. I've got all my oils and aerosols right here on this first rack, as well as some miscellaneous parts. I can fit one more car bin in there. The only problem I'm facing right now is that this bin and that bin full of car parts are too tall, same with that one, to sit in between the racks. They have to sit on top, but I don't have a lot of real estate on top. So I do need to go out and buy either this bin or this bin, preferably these because they fit a lot nicer, and kind of transfer the car parts from the bins that don't fit into bins that fit, because I got 1, 2, 3 bins that won't fit. And between these 3 bins, I'm confident I can fit them in 4 or 5 of these gray ones, which would be perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then potentially 5, 6, 7, 8 if I need. The bins that need to go on there right now just don't fit. So I'm trying to formulate somewhat of a plan for that, but it is looking a lot better. Let me shut up and let's get back to this. I'm already sweating buckets. We have got this as set up as I can really get it for now. Like I say, 1, 2, 3 boxes are gonna have to get condensed into my smaller boxes that actually fit in between the racks. Once that happens, the carbon intake, the steering wheels, and that box of turbo goodies can all get in the new boxes, as well as all these parts, which can occupy those 2 spaces there. That's 4 boxes, plus I have a slot right there. So 5 total slots for 3 boxes and a little bit of small miscellaneous parts. We should be good there. I also do want to get that second rack and put it lengthwise like this for all the bigger boxes like InGen, my spare Yonaka Rad, and some miscellaneous car parts. I was able to put my front bumper, my spare front bumper up there, as well as the hatch glass, and that should be plenty of room. I've got my creeper and my foam pads, my jack right there. Well, this right here is going to get condensed, that whole blue bin, into the front of the shop. That's the new shop garbage can. Vacuum will find a home once this rack goes here and these 3 boxes are dealt with. Moving over here, still have to mount the lights and the pack out. I did find my clamps. I'm also gonna get a block of wood cut out so I can mount my vise right there. And then over here is still an absolute abomination. So this has nothing to do with Brash Garage. This is just household stuff. So that's what the other 2 racks are for. I'm gonna build those, get them chucked up over there, and then I should have enough to make a, because that's 5 and that's 5. So if we do 4 and 4, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 4 rung shelf should be meant to go right over here. But regardless if it is, I can't do anything with it today, because if I put a 4-tier shelf here, these boxes will no longer have a kind of tucked away home to go to, and we'll just be back out floating. So first step is to get those. I'm gonna go ahead and do this all off camera because we still need to mount lights in this video. All right, guys, day 3 on the shop. We are making huge progress, and if you couldn't tell by that little opening scene, we have got our stud finder right here, and I've already got some holes marked out on the wall. Boom, placed right on the stud. And then I've got some more here. There we go. And that's right over that one right there. So we're gonna roll with that, blow some holes here, and get this light hung finally. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can see it, but I've worked up quite the sweat. It's muggy as hell in here, but who cares? Because look at what we've got. Come over here. Boom. Oh my God. It's lit up for one, and for two, even the side of the car is lit up better. Let's go. That is absolutely perfect. And now when I'm working over here, we are fully illuminated. You can see the car in the back. I should honestly get like a camera mount to go up on here so I can just come stick you guys up there. Maybe even a little higher. You can see me work, you can see the car. But look at this lighting. Are you kidding me? Let's go, baby. I am so amped at that. So amped. I think for now I'm just gonna leave these two lights here. I don't think I'm gonna run one on the ceiling. And then as far as the hex lights go, we can definitely put them over here because it is a little bit dim, and it would be nice now that we have that light to have the hex lights here. I'm just gonna have to run an extension down here and then kind of shoot across, but I need that kind of cable track. For now, I guess it would be okay to be left loose like that. But that was the main thing, this light right here. And then since I always leave it on, I can just come over here, turn everything on and on. That is sick. Love that. All right, guys, I'm happy to report after that little time lapse there, hex lights are mounted. How good does that look? There's about 6 different types of screws holding them in because I ran out and had to find some. But I think for an eyeball, I got it pretty damn level. Now, I need to order a cable track to go across here. But for now, we're just gonna run an extension cord, kind of try and tuck it up out of the way and go into this. This one is the secondary plug. So that's kind of my floater for pressure washers, things like that. So I need to locate another extension cord and run it. So let's do that really quick. My apologies. I just realized my mic was off for the last clip. Thankfully, this camera has pretty good lighting, audio as it is. I found an extension cord, so I am going to try my best to run and tuck it so that when the cable track comes in, 90% of the work is already done. And we're gonna get lights in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Holy moly, you could see us from the moon. Oh my God. Talk about lighting in here now. Holy shit, dude. Wow. Here, let's just connect the Civic's battery so that we can drop the hood. Holy shit. You could even turn these lights off and still be lit up from the moon. I'm obviously gonna run those. Yeah, I think we may just have enough lighting in here. Oh my God. That is insane. These things light up the car so well. And we did 4, which is more than we had at the previous shop. That was well worth the wait and the longer video, I bet. Those 4 hex lights look insane. And yet if I come over here, I'm still perfectly lit up because we got this nice big light bar here now on the workbench. Behind us looks rad. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. Now we gotta hang these banners, tuck a couple more boxes in, which is pretty much all gonna be time lapse, and then we're gonna wrap up this video because it's getting long.
2,000 years later.
All right, boys, and with all of that work being done, I am finally happy and ready to show you the dream garage setup in our new shop. I'm honestly stoked with how this came out. I think you guys are gonna love it. Let's check it out.
And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
And well, there you have it. I know it was a super long video, but now this is the new view and the new vibe from the new shop. We got the GTR legacy there, spoon, hex lights, Honda, all the shelving tucking up everything on the floor. Of course, the Civic, HKS, workbench, toolbox, engine crane, engine stand. I mean, this is awesome. This is what you guys are gonna be seeing from now on. And if we're on the flip side, that's what you're gonna be seeing. Love it. Let's do a little walk here past the hex lights. I mean, it just gets so bright over here. So bright. We got the hatch, we got the nook with our little workstation. Out back, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves. Everything is in bins now. We got a couple loose parts on the bottom, couple loose parts on the top, and then this is the dedicated loose parts rack, I guess. I was able to squeeze the vacuum up there by overlapping this in between the two and kind of creating a bridge with that. But even from back here, like, this is insane. I'm super pumped with how this came out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is this a dub or is this a big fat L? I think with the space we had available, the tools we had available, I think it came out pretty freaking awesome. I mean, come on, HKS banner over the box, fresh light installed, banners and hex lights covering this wall, build cars in between, storage out back. I mean, with what we had to work with, I think we did a damn good job. Now it does get a little bit dim over here, but in that case, I've got this. So there we have it. Anyways, guys, enough talking. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week for the Auxito LED headlight install on the F-150. Plus, I may or may not have ordered a little bit of a spicy part for this car here. Something I've been wanting for years, and we finally did it. And I'll give you a hint. It's got something to do with this rear end here. Wing, tint, tails, diffuser, cut, exhaust tip. What's going on here? You guys have to subscribe and stick around to find that one out. But just know there is more build videos on the way. Now that we're done the move, now that we've got the new shop set up, and I mean looking like this, I think we're dialed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.